Writing formulas for ionic compounds. Okay, some metals have an unpredictable charge, and so we're going to add a Roman numeral to those. And the ones that need a Roman numeral are the transition metals here in the middle. You can see chromium could be +2 or it might be +3. Iron is the same deal, +2 or +3. Copper can be +1 or maybe it's +2. And it makes a difference which ion is present. So if we wanted to write the name for these ions, we would write iron. For this one right here, Fe+2, we write iron. And we put a bracket and put Roman numeral 2. For copper with a +2 charge, we'd write copper with Roman numeral 2 behind it. So let's practice. This one was put in here as a trick. It's rubidium. And if we look at rubidium on our periodic table, it's in the first column, and so it doesn't need a Roman numeral, and so we just write rubidium. Okay, so let's practice writing some more complex compounds. This is SN, which is 10 chloride. So it'll be 10. But when we look up the charge on our table here, we see that 10 could be, where is it? Here it is. It could be +2 or it might be +4. And we need to know which one we've got because we're going to have to put these brackets in. So 10, we don't know, but we've got chloride and it's got a 2 with it. So we're just going to do a reverse crisscross. This 2 belongs up there. This 1 belongs here. So the charge on this compound is 10 + 2 chlorine -1. Okay, you see how I did that? And now we'll put our Roman numerals in. We've got a 10 with a charge of 2. Remember, the Roman numeral does not tell how many 10 ions there are. It tells the charge on the 10. How many positive charges. These will be positive. Okay. FeO is going to be, Fe is iron. And this is oxide. Iron is here on our periodic table, so it's a variable compound. It could be either 2 or 3. So we're going to put brackets in here. And then I'm going to rewrite this mainly just to make it bigger. We know that oxygen is going to have a -2 charge. So it follows that the iron must have a +2 charge because there's 1 iron to 1 oxygen. That's the formula that we were given to start with. 1 iron, 1 oxygen. So they have to have even number of charges. So this is going to be iron 2 oxide. So here we have another iron compound. Iron is a transition metal, so we're going to have to put the Roman numeral on it. It's a Roman oxide. It's an iron oxide. we've got Fe2O3. Well, we can do our crisscross on this compound. All I've done is rewrite it so that it's a little bigger. It seems kind of small. So put that there. The subscript becomes the superscript of the other ion. And that gives us iron with a 3 and oxygen with a -2. And we know oxygen has a -2 because it's right here on our periodic table. And so we must have iron 3 oxide. Here we have copper sulfate. And copper is one of our transition metals. So it's going to have the Roman numerals. We've got 2 copper ions and 1 sulfur. So let's do our crisscross. So that gives us a copper with a 1 positive charge and a sulfur with a -2 charge. And we know that sulfur, we're going to double check ourselves here, but sulfur has indeed a -2 charge. So our copper is +1. And here's another copper sulfide. Okay, this is going to be a little like this one. We know that sulfur has a -2 charge. We know that from looking down here on that periodic table. And we know that we're going to have an equal charge on the copper. So that's going to be +2. And the copper here will be. So now we can write formulas for our compounds. This is kind of going in the other direction. Magnesium chloride. We want the symbol for magnesium. And magnesium has a +2 charge. We need the symbol for chloride, -1 charge. We're going to do our crisscross. And we'll write our compound as magnesium chloride with 2 chloride ions. And notice I don't put any charges or anything on anything. We just put the 2 from here down here. Sodium sulfide. Sodium has a +1 charge. Sulfur has a -2 charge. Sorry about that dot. From here we know that. We can do our crisscross. And we'll see that we'll need 2 sodium ions to go with each sulfur ion. Copper oxide, copper, and they've told us that it has 1 positive charge. Oxygen always has 2 negative charges. We do our crisscross. And we get copper to oxygen. Zinc phosphatide. Well, zinc is on your chart. It is a transition metal, but it only has 1 form. So we just write it. And phosphorus is the -3. And we can do our crisscross. And we get zinc 3, and then phosphorus, and then that 2 goes here. So 3 zinc ions for every 2 phosphorus. And we'll make gold our last one here. Gold is Au, and this tells us that it's a positive 3 charge. It comes different ways, but actually doesn't, yeah, here it comes plus 1. Oops, you can't see. It comes as a plus 1 or as a plus 3. But this right here told us that it must be plus 3. The nitride is right here, and it's minus 3. So if we do a crisscross, we get 3 and 3, but we want the lowest ratio. And so we can just write this as AUN. Okay.